Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wayne Dupree, and you are watching The Wayne Dupree Show on LiveSet TV. We have a whole lot of voices here. Real talk, real opinion, no talking points. My next guest is a young lady that wants to move the ground. She wants to wake up a lot of people to the fact that there are other voices out there that need to be heard within the Republican Party. I mean, honestly, I'm happy that she is here. I mean, I'm happy that she is raising her voice, because a lot of people out there have a voice. They're afraid to use it, fear of losing their stature, fear of losing their place within their cliques or their groups or whatnot. But when you have someone like Corrin Rankin that has developed an organization like the Legacy Republican Alliance, and that is committed to educating and informing, then you have a base that could create something that has probably never been done before. A long-lasting platform that will even out what we're seeing right now. Let me bring on Corrin right now. She is the founder of the Legacy Republican Alliance, and she's also an advisory board member for Black Voices for Trump. What's up, Ms. Rankin? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, I mean, first off, let me start. I love what you're doing. It's better late than never that this is happening, but I think that you're a strong person in even doing this, because so many people probably have thought about it, but you know how people want to start things and then they get depressed and then, well, whatever, nobody can listen to me. Well, it doesn't look like that's happening to you. It looks like you're pressing forward.
Well, first, let me start by saying that I am just in awe of your deep understanding about what actually happens with inside the party. And everything you said in your opening segment is 100% true. There are some days that it gets kind of hard, but, this is important to me. It's important to our organization, our board members, and other Black Republicans in California and throughout the United States. So we just keep pushing forward. And I do get pushback from time to time. It hasn't been the easiest for me to come out and sort of tell the truth about some of the things that go on. And I don't say it in a way to make anybody look bad. I say it because I want the Republican Party here in California to do a better job and to be more conscious about the decisions they make and the outreach that they are doing and are not doing. I think that's just going to make us a better party all around.
What you just said happened to me last night. I had on two individuals, two Black young conservatives. They are podcasters, but they're saying the same thing that you are with the Legacy Republicans. They want more people that look like us in Congress. Most people don't understand. In 2020, when Will Hurd leaves, you're only going to have Scott from South Carolina as the only Black Republican in Congress. That's it.
Right.
You're not going to have Tim Scott. You're not going to have any more. And somebody responded to me, and that's the reason why I'm bringing it up, because somebody responded to me. They were like, you brought on two individuals to call out and disparage the Republican Party. I'm ashamed of you. I said, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How can you be ashamed of me when I say I want to see more people like me in Congress? You can say that you're colorblind all you want to, but if you're going to say that you're colorblind, then that hurts me because of what I want to see. Because honestly, I know that there are Black Republicans out there. I know there are the Latino Republicans. I know there are the Asian Republicans out there. But just as soon as we say we want to see more, then it's like, well, it shouldn't be about color. Corrin, if it's not about color, then why do I see a lot of these white organizations? Well, we got to get the Black vote. We got to get the Black vote. We got to. If it's not about color, then why are you trying to rush to get the Black vote? I don't understand.
I get the same thing. It's not about color, but to say it's not about color is sort of it's dismissive of my life and the life I've lived in this skin. And I think that goes for all of us, no matter what variation of the color of your skin, whether it's Black or brown or or whatever the case may be. This is our life. This is the life we've lived inside of this skin. And so to say that it doesn't matter is basically, whether it's intentional or not, it's telling me that I don't matter.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with us in the Republican Party, Black people in the Republican Party, wanting to see more representation of Black people. I mean,
right.
We live in California, so we're living in a diverse state. So our party really needs to be a reflection of what California itself looks like.
Right.
The party needs to look like the people of the state.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we're saying nationwide, too. The Republican Party needs to look like who we really are across the nation. Because before we get into the Legacy Republican Alliance, even though the Democratic side is doing things their way and they play identity politics, you look on their side, and whenever they get in a debate on the House floor, you have Blacks, Latinos, Asians, women going up against all these white men on the Republican side. And it's like, it's a lose situation because of the media. I'm not saying they're losing on policy, but when you put that up on the screen and you see these voices of diverse color up against one side that that doesn't have a whole lot of diversity on this side, then when you project that to the American people throughout the nation, I say, okay, so you want me to join the Republican Party, but you don't have anybody over there that looks like me. I just don't understand how you want me to leave a party that, even though they're not doing anything for me, you want me to leave people that I probably can talk to try to work something out to this side that doesn't reflect me at all.
That's very true. It's very true. And it's an optics thing, because like you said, when people are watching this on TV, watching these debates they're having in Congress or on the Senate floor, and the visual is exactly as you've described. And that is a challenge for us as Black Republicans during our outreach to Black communities, is to try to get them to join us in the Republican Party. And they say just that. Why would I? I mean, the Democrats have all of these Black people who look like me, and there's a chance I can get them to actually do something. So yes, Republicans win on policy every day of the week. But we have to really hone down and change our message and our messengers. So with the LRA, we are really set on reintroducing the Republican Party to Black communities. And we do that with policy. And we talk about policy first. We talk about, that the Republican Party's, our fundamental values are, low taxes, less regulations, and putting more money back into people's pockets versus more money into the government. So we also believe in small government that runs efficiently. And I have received some amount of pushback saying, well, us Black people back in the 60s with school integration, we needed the government. We needed them to come in and to help us. And yes, that is true. But we need the government to come in and help us when help is needed. We don't need them to be overreaching into our lives every single day, telling us what we should be doing with, in our business and our boardrooms and in our bodies. We need the government to do what they're supposed to do, and that is to protect and serve the people and to keep us safe. That's their job. The Legacy Republican Alliance, you are providing the Black community a platform at the local and state levels. And if there's one thing that I have been talking about on this show much more of late, is that we need to be active on the local level. Because a long time ago, I used to think that most of the change came from the top. It came down. I thought it trickled down. But being the son of a preacher, and if you start thinking about laying seed, you have to lay seed in the ground, let it catch root so that it is strong at the bottom, and then it grows. And that's basically what you're doing with the Legacy Republican. You're starting down here and saying, this is how we do, this is what we do, and we want to educate and inform
to strengthen who we are inside of the Republican Party. And that's something that I admire, because a whole lot of young people out there today don't realize that the Republican Party was ours to begin with. I mean, am I right? The Republican Party was ours to start off with.
That's right. I mean, the Republican Party was founded by anti-slavery abolitionists who did not believe that enslaving Black people was the right way to do, was the right way for our society to be. And this is our home. It was created for our benefit, and we should still be benefiting from it. The policies created, in the Constitution and within this party are made to benefit, Black people and Americans.
And again, with you providing that platform and you talking to people, I had a chance to speak to the RNC chairman a couple of years ago. I gave him a suggestion. I was like, listen, why don't you, as the RNC chairman, because y'all saying y'all raising all this money and stuff, why don't you develop some type of project that goes into communities and develops these family days, but don't invite top leaders and stuff. Have family days. And I said, the Democrats have been breaking up the family since the 50s, 60s. So they can't come and copy you on this. This is something that you can do and have it in a large field and bring games and stuff and everything, but then have people out there to talk about how to bring the community back, how to work more together within the community. Don't go out there saying, yeah, this is a Republican event. Don't do that. Just go out there and just talk as regular people, even have food, but don't serve it until after people talk. So, you feed those people and they're going to be gone when people want to give speeches. But I mean, it's a thing about family, and family split in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. The families were split. Then the country started going down, and then the country started split. And then you have what we have today. I'm sure that you will agree, if the family unit is brought back, and God in it too, but if the family unit is brought back and is strengthened at the bottom, the core, the root that I was talking about earlier, this country will be a whole lot better. I
agree. I mean, I'm a single mom, so I raised 3 daughters and, by myself for the most part. And I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. It's not the easiest thing to do. My daughters know that I don't recommend that for them. So it's important. I think it's important to educate our youth on the importance of strong family units, a 2-parent household with the children. It's hard to do it as one, and we should strive hard in every single way to bring back our family units and to raise our children in a loving 2-parent household. It makes a huge difference.
I'm a single dad now, and just like you, and they love me to death, and I love them to death too. I do. And we all know things work out, if things don't work out. But to instill in your children that idea that it can work, and when it does work, it will only strengthen who you are, is really going to bring back this country. Tell me what you're doing in the communities. How are you being received in the communities? Because I know when you go to the barbershop around here, honestly, when we talk to our people, and that's something that I find out, Corrin, as conservative Black Republicans have lost their voice to speak to brothers and sisters in the community. I mean, there's a breakdown where some of the young leaders will go in there talking about Black plantation and victimhood, can't think for yourself and stuff like that. For us, I'm sure what we do, we can go in there and hold a conversation and not even talk about that type of stuff, but still can get through to somebody on a regular level, just talking regular. Why is it so hard for just talk to people like the people? And I'm sure that's what you do with the Legacy Republican Alliance.
We don't resort to, telling people they're on a plantation or telling people they can't think for themselves because, one, it's not true. And 2, it's insulting. So if we want to find a common ground with people, it's best to not start by insulting them. That's what we've found to be true. What I'm hearing from the ground now, and in all fairness, that goes both ways because as a Black Republican, Black conservative, I have experienced a lot of unnecessary name calling. I've been called, this horrible that, I'm an Uncle Tom or I'm a coon, or it's terrible. The Democrat Party should not be they promote this type of language towards Black conservatives.
Right.
So I think that the plantation and things like that are a response to that. It's time for it to just really stop on both sides, because it's not productive, and we really need to come back together and talk to one another. It's a foolish idea to think that all Black people belong in one party or another. That has never made any sense to me. I think that we should be in both parties. We should have a Black presence in both parties.
Yes.
And that's where we are going to start to really see some changes, because there are certain things that need to happen in Black communities and that people need to advocate for in urban Blight communities. And a lot of the Democrats, the Black Democrats here in California, when I hear them on television or I read their quotes in the news, I agree with what they're saying. But I know that the policies of the Democrat Party are not going to allow them to achieve those things.
Right.
And so that's the difference, because I feel like their heart is in the right place. Their intention is most often in the right place. And I'm talking about local politicians, like on a mayoral level.
Right.
Their heart's in the right place. Their intentions are in the right place. But the policies of the party are not going to allow that to happen, what they want to achieve to happen. The policy that the Republican Party do allow and do provide a way to achieve the things that I hear these Democrat politicians saying they want to do in their neighborhoods.
Right. A lot of people need to get involved in the local politics to fix the politics on the higher ups. But it seems like the higher people go up the ladder, the more corrupt they get. That needs to change. I think that would change if we had a more honest, diverse soldier army that started on the ground level, because there's a whole lot of problems at the top. There's a lot of problems at the top. But
there's a lot of problems at the top. We've had people in Congress, on both sides that's been there 30 years, and some of them can't even, say what they've done for their communities. You look at their communities, and their communities are in worse shape than they were when they were first elected. I always stress policies and party platforms, because what I've learned, I'm a former Democrat, and I've listened to, the politicians on the news, or listen, like I said, read their quotes in papers, and I agree with what they say. But it's important to know that what a politician says is not necessarily what they're going to be able to do. Because when you're aligned with a party, the parties each have platforms. And so once you're elected, you are bound to enact laws or, vote the way the platform dictates such. So that's why it's important to see the platforms first, and not necessarily listen to what the politicians are saying, because most of them have good intentions, but really look at the platforms and say, okay, does this party's platform align with what this person's saying? Does this party's platform allow for what this person is saying to actually happen? What I've learned is that the Republican platform is the one that allows for what I hear these Black Democrats saying they want to do. Right. The Republican platform is the one that's going to allow them to actually achieve those things. Yep. And I think the proof is in the pudding, because a lot of them have been there for so long and nothing is changing in their neighborhoods.
And I'm glad that you said that, because the Republican platform is the perfect platform for this country. Beyond everything, it's the perfect platform for success in this country, because you can't lead a country on emotions. But then I go back to what you said earlier. Even though that's the perfect platform, you have wrong messengers at the top that don't follow the platform. Or they say, okay, this is what we believe in, but this is what we do. So, that's I know it's crazy, right?
It's true. And you have to listen to what they say when they say things like, and I think Hillary Clinton even outlined this, that when you hear politicians say, I'm going to work to achieve this, or I support doing this, that means they're not going to actually do it, and they have no intention of actually doing it. And they're telling you that. They're saying, I'll work to do it. I'll support it.
You know what? I think that over the years, maybe in the last 3 or 4 years, I listened to stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, well, especially when they put out bills. Yeah, this bill is for 10 years, but you ain't going to be in there for 10 years. I mean, or, if you spread this out over 10 years, this is how much it's going to cost. But then they leave after like 6 years or whatever. But let me ask you a couple more questions, because
I just want to interject really quick. And that's why I supported then candidate Donald Trump, businessman Donald Trump, back in 2015 when he first announced, because I thought to myself, this is exactly what we need. We need a non-politician. We need a businessman who his livelihood depends on him achieving results. He didn't get where he is in life by not achieving results. Right. So and he made promises to our country, to the Black community, and he's kept those promises. And it's because of his mentality and his mindset. He's used to achieving results. That's, like I said, his livelihood depends on results.
I remember when I was in the military, and I remember hearing about then Donald Trump. He's millionaire, billionaire. When I was growing up, he was hanging around all the rappers and the Mike Tysons and stuff, and he was all that. And then
everybody loved him. We all loved him.
Everybody loved him. And
we all wanted to be like him.
And he made himself accessible, not like the other billionaires. And that's why I think other billionaires hate him, is they treat him like a black sheep because they didn't have that type of connection. Then you didn't hear nothing about him for a few years. But, his business took, some hits and stuff. But when he came back, he was bigger than what he was when he left. And that's what drew me to him in 2016. I was like, listen, that's the perfect story. You start off here, you hit some bumps, but then you become back bigger. That's what America needs. That's what America needs.
We do. He's like the comeback king, right? We need to have a great comeback.
But
I feel like we are. I think he's doing exactly that for this country. We're on the comeback.
Tell me, before I let you go, give me an idea how you want to increase the number of Black Republican elected officials.
We do it by support. We offer a really good support system here. So we've gathered all the Black Republicans in California. Some of us are delegates to the state party. Some of us are, activists and voters. And we've developed a support system that helps candidates run for office. So the first step to running is, actually doing it, feeling like, you are solid in your convictions, that you have a support system, because that's really important when you decide to run for office. Everybody needs a support system. Everybody needs guidance and mentoring, and that's what we provide. We provide this foundation for our candidates to build upon. I mean, I get calls every single day from my candidates asking me for advice or help or assistance. And they don't just call me. They have a whole pool of people now that is there to help them, support them, encourage them, and because we want to see them succeed. And we've seen that. So last time, our state party, we had no Black candidates endorsed for state office and congressional office. This time, every single one of our candidates thus far who have sought an endorsement from the party have been receiving endorsements from the party. And that is a huge victory in and of itself so far. I mean, keep in mind, we've only launched in September. We've been working behind the scenes since earlier this year. And we're already starting to see more strides, more success in just that aspect alone. And through our candidates who live in predominantly Black communities, through those candidates, we are spreading our message and our outreach to those Black communities that, hey, we want you in our party. We need you in our party. We want your opinions. We want your advice. We want it all. You don't have to think like the rest of us. I mean, we don't all agree on everything, but we do all agree that we need more Black representation in local communities and within our party.
And you know what? And there's nothing wrong with that. And
it should be celebrated.
And I want people to realize and understand, yeah, we are trying to rock the boat, but there's nothing wrong with that, because the boat goes further when everybody is on the same idea or the same wavelength. To be successful, everybody needs to row. Everybody needs to be working together to make things work. You just can't just dismiss these people over here and say that we causing problems. We're not causing problems. We're trying to help make a better solution. Corrin, I am so glad to have you. I want to have you back after the holidays. I want to see what you're doing on a regular basis, whatever I can do to help. You have my I have your cell phone, and you will have my cell phone after the show. But you have my Twitter DM. Just let me know. I want to have some more of your people on, so
Absolutely, we can arrange that. Thank you so much
Yep.
for your support. We really appreciate it.
No, I mean you're doing what needs to be done, and you're unafraid to do it. And I know times are going to get tough. You're working toward a beautiful goal, and I'm behind you 100%, Corrin. I am.
Thank you very much. I'm very touched by that. Thank you.
How can people reach you on social media? Everything. Give them everything.
So, okay. So my Twitter is @Corrin Rankin. It's just my name altogether. Our website is legacyrepublicans.org, and we have a sign up and a contact sheet there. So all of my social media is Corrin Rankin. My Instagram's Corrin Rankin. My Facebook's Corrin Rankin. I keep it really easy, really simple. I'm super easy to contact. I get back to everybody. If I don't get back to you, somebody will get back to you. So please, reach out. We're here. And we'd love to talk to you.
All right. With that said, Corrin, thank you so much. And you have a beautiful weekend and a great holiday. And we'll see you after the new year.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Corrin Rankin of the Legacy Republican Alliance. And let me tell you something. Go to the website. Sign up and find out how you can support, donate, share. She's very articulate. She's informative, and she doesn't mind educating. So thank you for watching the Wayne Dupree Show here on LiveSat TV.